meeting. And the one item on our agenda tonight is a site plan review for Patrick Race at 12 Franklin Street, tax map 066.65-01-40.000. It's in an R2 zone. And the application is to open a bait and tackle shop at that location. And you should have information in the packet that we can tell this to you. If you have read it, great. If not, give Mr. Race a chance to give an oral presentation of what he is planning on doing.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say this before we start. As you're probably aware, probably received 2 or 3 phone calls on this matter prior to this meeting, all of which centered around the proposed hours of operation of this proposed business. I wanted to be fair, so I brought that to Mr. Race's attention, who's sitting next to me, because I wanted him to know what was going on. And I suggested to him that it may be a good idea, since I've heard it from about 3 different sources, that he may want to reconsider his hours and possibly table this matter for tonight and put it on for the March meeting. And that would give him some time to reconsider his hours, which he indicated he was willing to do. And then he could also have the discussions with Mr. McMahon, our code enforcement officer, to further have some discussions on the hours. And Mr. McMahon has indicated that that might be a good idea. So it would appear, Mr. Race, you can disagree with me if you want, but he's indicated to me that that might be the way he wanted to go tonight.
Okay. I don't know, will the board have any comments one way or the other?
Well, I just have a question. How much traffic do you expect? Do you, Mr.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes. It'd be minimal. I mean, I don't think it'd be like a Walmart in there,
I hope
It'd
not.
be, 1 or 2 vehicles at a time, in and out. I mean, people aren't gonna be hanging around. And I wouldn't expect any like 5 at a time, you know what I mean?
And they park, there's a plan here where they park. Where do they park?
Yeah, I have 2 to 3 spaces in my driveway, and then there would be on-street parking.
In your driveway, to be one behind the other, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'd have to wait for somebody else to move. And is there parking on the street too?
Yes.
How these people get wind of this project? They get notified, they get notified?
I don't know. Some of my information came from a board member, others came from village officials.
That's
So
good.
it's posted on, isn't the agenda posted on the website?
Could have been on the website. I don't know.
It is.
No,
Someone
Is
probably.
that what your question was, or how did people?
No, I wanted to know how these people that made up, were concerned about the hours, get to know about it.
That's what I imagine on the website.
I think it was proposed in my original business model,
Yes, here.
what my proposed hours
Yeah,
might
it's right
be.
here, yeah.
But I have already further changed those hours, but if it pleases you guys,
What are your hours that you're suggesting now?
I was thinking, 5 to 8 at night, Monday through Friday, and then if it needs to be shortened for the weekends, it could be 7 to 4.
So what?
I don't necessarily have to be open that late. It was just
So if you made a pitch now as to what hours you would be agreeable to you, maybe we could just move ahead. What are we waiting for?
Well, what I want, there was some concern, a couple concerns. Mike. One, there was some concerns that it was early in the morning, I guess 6 o'clock in the morning. There was some concern that it was 9 o'clock at night. There was some concern that it was 7 days a week. There was some concern that there was gonna be on-street, possibility of on-street parking. And then the issue that we run into, and we'll quote Mr. Race this, is that if we allow, don't control these hours, you can have, maybe a year or two from now, another neighbor wanting to do this and another neighbor wanting to do this. Before you know it, you have a commercial, still supposed to be a residential area. You might have a commercial, almost like a commercial road. So I guess the concern was among some people about limiting the hours, especially from what I understand is especially early in the morning and later at night. I don't know if there's street lights or things like that. And that's why I told Mr. Reyes, I wanted to be honest with you, that this is what was being brought up to me. I wanted him to be aware of that so that he didn't feel that he was, he had to make a decision tonight as to what to do. He could table it, think about it a little bit more, hearing what we just told him. Also engage a little bit more with Kevin, the code officer, because I guess you guys had some discussions about this.
So my take is most of the time with home occupations. As I see them through my different townships. Normally, they're not gonna be 5 nights a week and weekends. So. To keep it considered a home occupation, part-time business, normally. I find that most people are gonna host their hours, maybe like on a Friday afternoon, and then some hours on the weekend. But not all during the week. In my professional opinion, that's borderline getting into a full-time business. At which point, we're not really in the right zone district for it. That's just me, so.
So when I moved here, I needed to have the back wing as my studio graphic design thing. Harry Kalale brought it to the board, I guess. Was approved. With no restrictions like that. I did that for 10 years of that place. Nobody complained ever. I had salesmen come, never even had a customer come. So there's a little bit less traffic, or maybe quite a bit less traffic than you had. But I'm very sympathetic to home offices, keep, people employed, people, economy going, small community like this, so. Unless there's a real, negative impact on neighbors, I mean, this is retail, mine wasn't retail. So it is quite a bit of difference.
There's a lot of difference in retail.
I mean, so one of the things is people go fishing and they need to get their bait sport at 6 o'clock. So if that's becomes too restrictive for you not to start at 6, then this may not fly in that neighborhood.
Right.
But I would look forward to seeing if you can adjust things so that it can work for you.
I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with you. Monday through Thursday, I can take it or leave it, honestly, that's.
I'm sorry, what does that mean? What does that mean? You could-
So like
you
he's
could restrict
saying-
it to Monday through Thursday or not?
I could restrict it Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. But. I mean, that is gonna be, people still fish Monday through Thursday, so.
The other thing I noticed, I don't know if you got the message, Kevin, but there's no survey map of the property with this application. Almost every application that we've seen lately, there's a property survey,
I thought I had one in there, John.
not one in there.
You didn't see one on that packet that I gave you, Dan?
Nope.
And
Apologize, I wish I realized that.
And in writing, there's restrictions on home occupation. And without the survey, we wouldn't really know whether you meet those restrictions regarding parking. For one thing. Square footage of area no more than 30% of the gross floor area of the structure. going to use for the home occupation. So those are a couple of things that that jumped out at me and also, while it's in, if they could park in the driveway, technically, there's under the code, there's parking is not permitted between the house and the street line. But I guess it doesn't say in the driveway.
Correct, what that code done is for, just wrote a violation for somebody doing that on Center Streets, where they're parking in between the sidewalk and the street. That's what's illegal for us. The street line itself, we've got parking on our streets. I don't,
No, well, I'm saying between the house and the street line, there's no parking. Our code says you can't park. Whether it's either, if there's no sidewalk, you can't park on the lawn.
no, that's not the intention, it's not to be parking on the lawn. It's either gonna be in the driveway or
Yeah,
along the street.
but without the survey, we don't know where the driveway is.
Right,
That's, that's.
okay, fair enough.
I don't want to fly blind.
I do think that I sent along he gave me a design of the dimensions on the garage and the house to
No
help
dimensions.
verify the size of the occupancy.
No dimensions on the house.
These two spots shown here,
Yes,
those street parking?
yeah,
That was why I asked, when I sent it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was in the packet. I remember asking for it and he gave it to me.
So I really think it's be prudent to postpone until the March meeting.
Yeah.
So that get everything lined up so that we can get things. And if the board has any other questions,
So,
we can see.
not to be ignorant here, because I don't fish, but, so is this in the winter too, or do you think that you're, so, okay.
and that was, I had originally sent Kevin projected hours, and I had thought there's no parking on the streets between, what was it, 9 PM and 6 AM, I think.
Mhm.
So I had already planned to adjust my hours, but then I also work a full-time job, so I decided to switch to only afternoons instead of mornings.
So do you think that people would be picking up the bait and tackle more early in the morning than late at night?
Generally, but with the option of it being open, a lot of people would use it. That was, I'm an avid fisherman, and a place I've gone to forest fisheries for years. But they've had limited hours. When I get out of work, they're closed. They're not open before I go to work.
So is your big place gonna be complimentary to theirs?
Yeah, I think it offers competitive business with them. I also heard a rumor that he's looking to sell, so.
On your survey, you're gonna have the square footage of your house, because that's how we can.
Yeah, we just added an addition 2 years ago, so I fully meet the requirement of the percentage.
You're thinking of not being open in the morning and catching that business, because you're working anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
How could you be open?
On Saturday and
Saturday.
Sunday,
Which I mean, for you, that's the prime time, if it's
Yeah,
6 o'clock in the morning, that's when people are gonna be up,
yeah.
going, heading out to the lake or stream.
But being established and having set hours, if they know I'm open in the afternoons, they'll use it.
so what do we need from him before we need the
Survey.
The
Firm
survey.
hours,
Firm hours.
correctly change the narrative with the hours it's proposing. And the survey map. And we need to read, it's not his fault, but the zoning code needs to be revised. Says no articles shall be sold or offered for sale or rent except as such as may be produced on the premises. So if you're selling something, you're buying and reselling it. It's not technically not allowed in the code, if we want to call it. Dan, I don't know, what, are we looking at that? I don't recall looking at that.
It depends on what stuff that they're going to, or you, is it mostly stuff that you make yourself and or,
I mean, I'm gonna offer handmade tackle,
right,
but I mean, some of it would be retail,
live bait? and-
live bait.
Right.
Yeah.
But. But as far as buying rods and reels and reselling, that's technically doesn't fall under a customary home occupation.
Okay.
I think it might be best, since all this is getting brought up, up to you. You have to read a table this, so, maybe you can have further discussion with the code officer.
Yeah.
About this project,
Yeah.
and then we can come back in May and, March, and, see where we're at.
Yeah.
You okay with
I
that?
agree, yeah.
Okay, he's agreeing, so we'll table this matter.
And another option that you may look at is look for a special permit rather than just a customary site plan review or a use variance, probably not, but first, we do, the code does have special extension of a non-conforming use or something, which is like a renewable.
Yeah, I think what you should do at this point, some of the points up here that he knew about, some points he didn't know about. So I think it's probably best for him to circle back with our code officer and let them have some discussions about this, so that, when we come back here, in March, Mr. Race has a little bit more time to prepare after hearing your comments as well as Kevin's comments. And then he can see where he wants to go with this project.
Sounds fair?
Agree.
Need a motion to table it?
Yes.
So moved.
Second. In favor? So we will be on for the March 26th,
Around there, yeah, I think so.
same day of
I think so.
February.
Or Wednesday, yeah.
Fourth Wednesday, yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Thanks, man.
Anything else?
Yes, we're gonna approve the.
We got minutes.
And apologies up front. That date is wrong. It should be the 12/4/24 minutes. The notation in the agenda says it's September. It should be 12/4/24. So
Correction.
Okay.
Page 2. In the last basic paragraph, Richard said, it says Richard had a property divided.
Yep.
See you in the morning.
spelling error. Yep.
It's my name. And the, oh, we don't. Okay. I got it. We should change it for. No, I don't.
Okay, so Mike, do you have you move to approve? the
Yeah,
minutes?
sure,
Okay.
with the change. Change.
Second,
I'll second.
favorite? Okay, we started a new year, we have to establish the meeting date each year, am I correct?
Yeah, you could re-up for the fourth Wednesday.
So motion to establish the regular meeting, the fourth Wednesday of the month. Ashley,
Works for me.
okay,
At what time, sir?
that's 6:30.
Now, what we're doing when we're supposed to be doing something with the other board. Yeah, very good. Okay. Just making sure.
Did they resolve to have him still
Or
stay
what, we
as the
supposed to
chair?
be Thursdays?
We haven't done that. That's usually in the order book.
Oh, we're supposed to-
It was the-
March, by the way, March, or is that your new year?
They said.
No. Not for the fiscal, order book's done in December because it's after the election.
You can resolve to make him the chair thing?
They can, but it's already been done.
It's already
last.
been done?
Yeah,
Dan, you're needed.
sorry, yes, please.
When are we supposed to meet? There was some discussion that zoning is gonna meet before us. Did we change the date?
Have not changed any, nothing has been changed. I appreciate that discussion happened, but no decision has been made.
When do they meet? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
The CBA board,
Yes,
Thursday.
Thursday.
The code officer, I think, would like to have that switched. Again, that trigger hasn't been pulled, so,
Well, so we're gonna meet fourth Wednesday at 6:30 until we change it.
yep.
Okay.
And that's Ashley. Second,
Second.
all in favor? Okay, last thing I have is, since we're starting a new year, we start the 4 hours of training all over
Training
again.
hours.
So do you
God, I
get the
just did.
emails? Do you get the emails
No,
from?
I don't get any emails about training.
No. neither do
I had to go to the website and I even did more than I was supposed to, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Like,
they
I-
carry over.
I'll buy them from you.
They carry over, you
Me
buy
too.
over.
Yeah, they carry over, yeah, anything.
So I found, there was a couple things I was like, wow, I learned a lot actually from the one
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
so.
those are
Which
They were pretty
which
good.
website do you go to?
I went to whatever website
New
you,
York Planning
New
Federation.
York Plan, yeah, and then you can just pick the ones you want and.
I usually forward those when I get them, but I've got a couple this month and I have not forwarded them.
You do that?
I'm for it.
Be an incentive? Can you-
I was really interested in like the comprehensive plan and stuff like that, like there was an entire lecture on that, like. You know. I think it's something that if we have one, if we don't have one, nobody's ever told one to me, but. I mean, this is how, they make sure that buildings look a certain way, have a certain color, have a certain roof, have a certain, and that's the only things that it can be. And that's why when you go into Canandaigua, like Dunkin' Donuts looks like a museum and not a Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm just saying, like, it was interesting to me, like, we don't really have those kind of things in play.
The village comprehensive plan was adopted in 2010. There is now a grant to do smart growth updates to it. So that'll be in there. But yeah, if you want to read the comp plan, it's on the website.
That's good.
We went through that. Didn't you and?
During the code book thing, we went through the what's it called? The matrix at the end of the comp plan of the things that needed to be done. And then we went through that. That'll be part of the smart growth update. Some things will come off, some things will be reiterated, some things will be, this has been done, so we don't need to reiterate it, that kind of thing.
So who makes those decisions about who will be sitting in on meetings to decide what changes?
With the smart growth update, a local planning committee needs to be put together. So obviously ideal for planning board members to be part of that committee. So, but board of trustees will be on it, zoning board can be on it, things like that. We'll probably have to nominate a few folks, from each board and some other residents probably too. But that we have to get a consultant in. There's this whole timeline of many different milestones that we have to do, but that's one of them. Yeah, we,
Motion to adjourn.
So-
Mike,
Oh, oh, second.
Mike, Jessica, okay.